Good morning, Amy. How are you?
Good morning. Welcome back to Two Porches and a Pour.
Yes, thank you for being my guest co-host for this season.
You're so welcome. I'm so excited to be doing it. I love it.
I
Thank
know,
you for
I
inviting me.
know. We have so many great ideas already.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's hard to think of new, fresh ideas, but we seem to be able to come right up with them. So if you missed our first episode together, start there so you can get to know Amy and how we met. Before we get started, I just want to share that I'm alone in my office talking to Amy, but I did spray on my Jo Malone perfume this morning.
I don't leave home without Jo Malone.
When we met with our blogger friends in California, we always share a gift of something that we love. And our friend Wendy from WM Design House gave us this beautiful scent. And to say I'm obsessed is an understatement.
I know.
I want to wear it, but I don't want to waste it either when I'm just sitting at home by myself. But I
want to wear it even if I'm home alone by myself because I love it that much. It makes, like you had said, it makes you feel fancy. That's exactly how I feel about it. I just feel so, like, I don't know, put together when I'm wearing it. So I love it.
I love it too. We should wear our jewelry.
Yes, I wore your pretty rose gold necklace.
Oh, yeah.
This weekend to my uncle's and my Jo Malone perfume, and I just felt so good.
Well, that necklace, it turns around on me funny. I think I'm going to clip the tail of it off.
Oh, see, I put it on the last.
Oh, okay. That would work too if I did it so it was the last one.
And it's not that much longer. It goes, it just comes down a little bit. That. So, and I like it like right about center of my chest. So
yeah, I'll have to. I just noticed that when I wear it, it's always that long chain is flipped around, and I keep having to pull it back.
I didn't have any trouble, and I had it all day long. So I just put up good and but anyway, yes. So Lynn's gift was a beautiful rose gold Kate Spade solitaire necklace, and I wear it all the time too. So, and with my Jo Malone, I feel really and Diane's bag. I'm like, if I'm not the coolest person in the room, then forget about it.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with her bag too.
So cool.
It's very cool. The only thing that I need to do is here we talk about not spending money on things we don't need. I need to get like little individual bags to put my stuff organized in there because it is open. It's completely open. Well, how would you describe that bag? It's like
It's a handmade, and Diane sews beautifully, and I sew, but I can't sew like Diane does. She does the upholstery, like the quality stuff. I would say it's a tote.
Yeah, like a tote.
But it's,
like a slouchy tote.
A slouchy tote. It's a triangle bag that ties together, and it's reversible, so you just tie the knot at the top, and then you can reverse the pattern. And it's got a nice little button closure, and I love my bag. I carry it. So
yeah, thanks for showing it. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, you can see the bag. Yeah, the quality is amazing. The loop for the button, cover button, everything is
well, you can just tell by touching it that it's the best of the best. So
even the fabric she used, mine's linen. I think
mine's linen.
Ours is linen. Yeah. She used a different pattern for each of us.
Like two different fabrics, so it's thick.
Same.
And both sides are linen. So both one is striped. It's just perfect for me. So
well, that kind of plays into what we call this season what we did for love, because we're gonna pretty much every episode talk about things that we love, and both of us love our younger girls, which we both had in our 40s.
Yeah.
Yep, which is something we have in common. I'm ahead of Amy. I was 42 when I gave birth to my last child, and the reason I had these babies so late in life was I was married once before, and I
Mhm.
had a child with my first husband, and then when I got divorced and I found the man that I can't imagine my life without, I wanted to still have more kids. Never I never dreamed it would happen. And then it happened and it happened again. But the second one quite by accident, although I can't imagine my
Yeah.
life without Emma.
Yeah.
But my youngest is now 26 years old. So I'm ahead of Amy and watching her go through this process of being a older mom.
Yeah. It's very, and I think especially when you did it in your 40s, and then even 7 years ago, now I feel like women are having babies later. But when I was young, like by 22, you had two kids, almost everyone.
Yeah.
So having babies in their 40s was not something very common. I mean, I guess it's common. People have been doing it for a millennia, but it's not that common.
Right, right. I would say it's more common like a woman who's started in her 20s and just continued to have babies
Yes.
and
Yes.
into her 40s. But for me, there was 10 years between my first and my second. You had an even bigger gap, correct?
Yeah, I was 17. I had just turned 17 when I had my oldest. He is 31 now. And then there's 6 years. I married their dad, and then there's 6 years between him and my youngest, which is funny because I always call Blake my youngest. Even today, like my
Mm-hmm.
youngest, my youngest, my youngest, and Gigi is my baby.
Yeah.
So everybody knows when I say my youngest that I mean Blake, who is 24, 25. He's just turned
Mm-hmm.
25. There's 6 years between the boys, and I thought that was a huge gap when they were growing
Right,
up. Raising
right.
them, 6 years was a big difference. And then um, Jade was 24 and Blake was 18 when I had Gigi. And she is 7 now. So my oldest is 31 and my youngest is 7. So there's a big 24-year gap between my oldest and youngest, and an
Well,
18-year gap between my
and
youngest.
Gigi is an aunt already.
She was born an aunt. So my
She was,
husband, I was married to the boy's dad for almost around 20 years, and and then we were divorced, and I met my husband, Sean, and he had a daughter who was a teenager, and by the time we dated and got married, she already had a baby. So then we got married and had Gigi, so Gigi was born already an aunt, and now she
wow.
has 3 nephews. So, and she's 7.
Yeah, that is, I mean, I have a friend who she had one set of like two girls, and then she waited a very long time and had two more girls, and she was pregnant when her oldest daughter was pregnant.
That's how my grandma and her mom had a baby at the same time, 2 months apart. And they
Isn't
were.
it crazy?
Mhm. So,
Yeah.
and then, but in my family, like my uncle is just a few years older than my sister too. So they.
Well,
Yeah.
for me, I had Kenny, then 10 years later I had Annie, and then 5 years later I had Emma. So I never ever experienced what some moms do who have toddler and a newborn. I
No,
never
me neither. I
I
didn't.
never had to do that. I always had I in some ways it was pretty cool because I got to give each child like a almost an only child experience because their
Yeah.
other sibling was away at school during the day.
Jade was in first grade when I had Blake. So
Mm-hmm.
I had time with Jade alone until he went to school, and then he went to school, and I had Blake, and then Blake was graduating high school, and I had Gigi. So
Yeah, I mean, that part of it was cool. And here's the other part for parents whose kids go off to college. We didn't have kids in college at the same time. If you've got a toddler and a I mean, can you imagine having three
I
kids?
can imagine having two kids in high school at the same time because high school is expensive.
Yeah.
So I was just fortunate that Jade went through 4 years of high school, and then Blake didn't went into junior high when Jade graduated. So I
Mm-hmm.
had 6 years of junior high and high school that I could pay for separately because it's expensive. Sports are expensive. Traveling is expensive. Like high school is expensive too, and then
Yeah.
college is exponentially more expensive. So I
Right.
cannot imagine doing two at once.
Right. Yeah, that part was kind of cool. But I will say the funniest part to me about having a baby in my 40s, 37 and 40, was the experience of having my charts at the doctor's office read in huge big black letters
Yes.
things like geriatric pregnancy and advanced maternal age.
It was so funny how differently you get treated as a
Mm-hmm.
17-year-old and then as a 40-year-old. It's like totally a different ball game. They're almost like you could die at any moment and your baby can die at any moment. It's how I felt.
Well,
Like it's like we have to watch you so closely because this is so unusual. And I was
right.
like, this can't be that unusual, people. I'm in good health. I'm fine. I feel young. I'm happy. So
Yeah, and what I can't believe is I had Kenny by cesarean and Annie by cesarean because they were both breech. And then Emma, my feisty little Emma, had her head down ready to go,
ready to
and
go.
they let me have a vaginal birth. Holy smokes. That to me was who signed up for this? My cesareans were such a breeze
Oh,
compared to having a baby that way when you've never had a baby that way. And now when I look at like statistically, I had more chances of things happening at 42
yeah,
after two cesareans, but um she came out.
yeah.
It wasn't easy, but she came out.
Yeah, I had all three naturally. I never had a cesarean, so.
Yeah, well, the beauty of a cesarean is everything works from the belly button down after the
Oh,
baby comes out. So,
yeah,
you don't have to deal with any of that other stuff.
the
Um,
nonsense.
yeah, the nonsense. For me, 72 stitches.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah,
See, I didn't have any of that kind of
I
problem.
had stitches inside, outside. Ugh, it was,
I always said I'd do labor and delivery once a month to not be pregnant because I don't like being pregnant. I would do labor and delivery 10 times before I'd want to be pregnant for 9 months again. It made,
Annie, Annie said the same thing. She was so sick and hated being pregnant, but she said to her giving birth was a breeze, and she would do that over and over and over again.
yeah, same. Now, my pregnancy with Gigi was not as difficult as the boys, but with the boys, I was very sick for the entire pregnancy. And my youngest weighed 10 pounds and 2 ounces.
Oh my gosh.
But I ate a lot of Krispy Kreme donuts when I was pregnant. We
Were
lived so
you overseas when he was born?
well. We moved when he was 3 to Germany.
Oh, okay.
I lived in Omaha, Nebraska, in Bellevue, Nebraska, actually, and there was a Krispy Kreme. We lived on base, and there was a Krispy Kreme like a mile away, and I would drop Jade off at school, and I would go get Krispy Kreme donuts every day, and he, I was not good, but I didn't feel good, and I didn't have it just, anyway.
Annie didn't feel good either, and I don't know how that little tiny sprite put on 50 pounds, but all she wanted was um, Taco Bell and Chick-fil-A,
Yeah,
which are not the most healthy
no,
options.
not great options.
Here, the one that boggled my mind was Taco Bell. If you're feeling nauseous and you want Taco Bell, that just doesn't make a lot of
Well,
sense
anytime
to
I
me.
don't feel good, I want a McDonald's cheeseburger, and I don't know why, but it's just something that I just crave when I'm sick. I want a McDonald's cheeseburger.
Interesting. I cravings. Gosh, I don't. With all three of them, I wanted like things like sweet tarts, like sour
Mm,
candy.
not me, I want
Um, with one of them, I think it was Annie. I craved cheesecake, and I'm not a sweet person. I would literally make a cheesecake every other day. And I got to the point where I didn't even bother to take it out and put it on the plate. I would just open the refrigerator and stick my fork in there and eat the darn cheesecake. I I I
but
don't know what was it that was about.
the only thing I craved with Gigi was chicken salad. I wanted chicken salad sandwiches all the time, which I guess is not too bad. And I didn't do
No.
too bad with her pregnancy, but the boys was rough.
Well, you were very young
I
too.
was, I was.
So, emotionally, even though
That was
they
that was really hard.
yeah, emotionally, you're not at the maturity level
No,
yet
you
to,
get there really fast. It's like
yeah,
fast
yeah,
track to maturity.
yeah, but still,
Well, and maybe
almost a
so.
little PTSD about it, I would
I
think.
definitely have PTSD. I wasn't treated very well when you're from a small town and you and people have expectations of you, and you're a sweet girl, and you get pregnant. There is like being thrown to the wolves. I got eaten alive. It was a bad deal.
Oh,
So
I'm so sorry.
I am, yeah, I do have some PTSD from that I try to work through. But even now at 48, I still struggle, with some of the things that you go through when you're young. Not that we want to talk about that, but
Right, right. Well,
that was
I,
really difficult.
yeah, I don't know about you, but I felt like Emma kept me young. Like,
Well, that's what I was going to say. So when you're 17, you're fast tracked into maturity, and when you're
mm-hmm,
40, it's almost like you're fast tracked into being 30 again.
mm-hmm,
I have to
mm-hmm.
I have to feel and act 30 to keep up with Gigi.
Right,
So,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
I had my 50th birthday and Emma was only 8 years old. And
Yeah.
so it didn't bother me at all because I'm like 50. I got it. I still have an 8 year old, you
Yeah.
know? Um, and I was doing all the things that my equivalent 20 something moms were doing,
Yeah.
volunteering at school, doing
Yeah.
all the things, taking the kids to school.
Well, and I get to enjoy being Gigi's mom more than I got to enjoy being the boy's mom, and it's such a different experience. It could be the husband, it could just be my age. Well, it's definitely the husband. It's
Right.
definitely my age. It's a combination of a lot of things, but I just enjoy getting to do all the things that I would love to have been able to do with the boys, which also gives me guilt. So
Well, but there's a difference between boys and girls too.
that's for
Like,
sure.
my relationship with my girls is a totally different kind of relationship than it is with my son.
Yeah,
And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think it's more of a normal thing.
yeah,
Um, it's like my mother-in-law had three boys, and the boys are different with their moms
yeah,
than daughters are. And I know my sister and I were different with our parents than my brothers
yeah.
were.
See, I only had sisters, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, you don't know the difference. Yeah. Um, Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a difference, and I think that was the fun too of having the girl after the boy because
It is
it's
like
the
a different universe. It is
yeah,
like I landed on another planet when Gigi got, even at 9 months old, 10 months old, things were already so different from the boys, from what I remembered. And I was a boy mom for 24 years, so
mm-hmm.
it was a hard adjustment for me because she is so girly. She
She's
is
so
so
girly.
wants her nails painted, wants to wear a dress every day. And I'm not girly, so I feel like I have had to come to terms and get a little bit more, not girly. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I was very boy mom, swords, Star Wars.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, it's almost it's a softening.
I can literally dodge a bullet because
Right,
I was
right.
shot at so many times with Nerf guns. So
Yeah,
this,
it's
no,
totally different. And
yeah,
I think that, you know, the minute I found out Annie was a girl, I was over the moon because
I was nervous,
I
instantly nervous.
I wasn't so nervous as I was crazy about silly things like buying all the cute clothes,
Uh-huh.
decorating the cute little girl bedroom, nursery.
Yeah.
Um, the one thing that was shocking to me, I felt like my girls came out whining and they never stopped. Where my boys?
Boys are so easy.
Yeah,
My boys are,
so easy.
both of them were so easy and so um, cuddly. And when Gigi's mad, that's it. Like, she's
Right.
mad and I'm not getting a hug goodbye. And I'm just like, the boys never acted like that. So,
I agree. And even like things with friends, granted, they grew up in different time periods. Like Emma and Annie kind of grew up in a digital age. Kenny did not.
yeah.
But when Kenny would have like a beef with his friends, they'd
They punch each other
punch each other and then get it over, and then it's
yeah,
it over
and they go
with.
to lunch together. And
Yeah. Where Annie and Emma had horrible bullying issues with other girls. Girls are mean.
that makes me sad. My
Yeah.
sisters were both bullied. I wasn't ever bullied, but I think it's because I don't care that much what other people think. Maybe that helped me a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, I knew Emma was bullied terribly. I did not think Annie was bullied until literally I want to say 2 months ago. She
Mm,
told me how she was bullied in high school and felt so bad. And I'm like, I felt like, why did I not know this?
yeah,
And why didn't you tell me? Because I I can't imagine her going through that and feeling the way that I know Emma felt.
yeah. That's
Um, it is sad. It's sad, but they both turned out to be beautiful, lovely women and stronger for it, in my
yeah,
opinion. Um, they both went off to college and kind of reinvented themselves
good.
and lived their best life there. Um, yeah. So, and to this day, they're college friends. Both of them are their best friends.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, yeah, what we did for love. I think that if I had been able to tell you in my 20s what my plan was, it was to get married and have 4 or 5 kids and live happily ever after. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just crazy how things don't always work out the way we planned. There is no Prince Charming. Um, Although I think we both are closer to it the second time around.
Yes, my husband is wonderful.
Yeah, mine too. Mine too.
I always,
He drives me crazy, but
oh,
he's still,
sure.
yeah, he's still a wonderful man.
Yes,
Um,
mine too.
and a good human being.
Yes, mine too.
And the mayor of our town.
Oh, not mine. Mine is not there. I
No,
can
I
say it.
just think that's the funniest little thing about him. would have thought? Not me. Not me.
That is
Um,
funny.
so, what else? Do you have anything else to share about having kids in
Yeah, I
our
think if
40s?
I would give the listeners advice, it's don't ask weird questions to a 40-year-old pregnant person because I was like, I remember getting the most, I don't even know what the word, oh, did you do that on purpose? I think that was the main one that really
Mm-hmm.
bothered me. Like, I don't want to answer you, yes, we did this on purpose, but it was like, was that an accident almost, and like, why are you doing that? And it, I don't know, people need to get a grip on their questions. Not that any of our listeners would be so, so
Right.
rude, but don't ask a 40-year-old pregnant woman rude questions like, did you do
Yeah.
that on purpose?
Yeah. I don't remember getting asked that so much.
I did many, many times. And sometimes it was a friend, a close friend, and sometimes it was just random strangers that I was telling, or that knew that I had older children, and they're like, did you do that on purpose? I'm like, well, I don't want to answer that, but
Yeah.
yes.
Um, yeah, I mean, I went into our marriage because Keith did not have any children.
Mm.
He was married before too, and he did not have any kids. And I went into the marriage saying, I want to have more kids. I don't know if it's going to happen because I had been married for 10 years, and Kenny didn't come along until I had been married 3 years into that marriage. And then I tried to have another baby. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you know, thank goodness
Yeah,
it didn't happen because I don't think it would have been as easy to leave
right.
2 kids. Um,
It's not.
but uh, I never could get pregnant again, and so I went into our marriage, Keith and mine, saying I really would like to have more kids, but I don't know that I can get pregnant. 3 months after we were married,
Oh, wow.
I
That's
was
awesome.
pregnant. Yeah, Annie was born a few, 4 days, no, 7 days before our first anniversary.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah. And then Emma, who we were not planning on, she was not planned. Keith was walking around with his vasectomy referral in his back pocket, and lo and behold,
And now,
even with protection, I
wow,
got pregnant. I
wow.
know.
That was
I
meant
know.
to be.
It was meant to be. And I knew the next day.
You should have known immediately that she was going to be very driven and a very, and I don't know if she is or not. I'm assuming that she is a very driven and dedicated person and is going to get what she wants because look what she had to overcome just to be born.
Yeah, she is very driven and she's very headstrong. Like I said, the other two were these breech babies laying in there on their butts. Um, and Emma was head down, ready to rock and roll.
Oh,
Um,
I was meant to be
I
here.
was meant to be here, and she came out kicking and screaming and gave us trouble right from the start. She had to go get put in a little incubator because she had some problems with her lungs right away, even though she was screaming.
So did Gigi. Gigi was in the NICU for 2 weeks.
Oh, really? Emma was only there overnight, but they discharged me right away. And I'm like, I'm not leaving
They
without
discharged
my
me.
baby.
I had to go home every night
Oh,
and leave Gigi in the hospital and go back at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then they would kick me out at 10 o'clock at night, and I would be there all day long every day. Sean had to
oh,
go back to work after a few days, and I could see her on the video monitor, and the nurses were amazing. But yeah, for almost 2 weeks after she was born, I had to come home without her. It was
oh.
awful.
Well, they told me they expected Emma was only going to stay for a day or two, and I said, "Well, I'm not leaving. I'll sleep on the sofa." They said, "Well, stay in your bed. You probably won't get meals sent to you,
Hmm.
but just stay in your bed until we need it, and stay in the room." Well, they brought me meals. They
Yeah,
came in and brought the baby to me when they could, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, they were wonderful to me. The nurses were fabulous, but that's scary. To have a baby
yeah.
in a little bit of distress.
That was it. It was just distress, but I'm so glad that the hospital was able to. I mean, it was hard leaving, but I was literally with her from 6 to 10 every day, all
Mm-hmm.
day. Holding her and taking care of her, but I had to leave. You can't stay in the NICU overnight, so
Mm. Well, and the plus of that, even though it's sad, is you got a good night's sleep every night.
not really.
Not, yeah,
No,
yeah,
I would,
yeah.
I would just watch her on the monitor. I would just leave it on
And
all night
cry, probably.
and just watch her and make sure, that I knew what was going on when I got there at 6 the next morning. But
Mm.
it all worked out. She's good.
Yeah, look at her now.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, she's a sweetie.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's our experience of having older kids. I can't wait to share with you as Gigi gets older the
I,
things that I've had to go through as an older mom. I told you earlier before we got on the podcast how there was a time where I said to my kids as they were growing up, now if you feel more comfortable calling us grandma and grandpa, you can do that.
I wouldn't let Gigi call me grandma, but I always tell people I feel like a grandma mom because it's
Hmm.
so different with her. I feel like I'm much more relaxed. I am more like a grandma. I'm her mom, but I'm like grandma mom because I'm just nicer. I'm just cooler. I'm just, like
Hmm.
happier, and I can handle her her breakdowns a little better than I could with the boys. It was just different. I was very young, especially with Jade, bless his heart, oh poor baby having a 17-year-old mom, but we made it. And but with Gigi, I'm just much more relaxed and easygoing, and so it's a
Yeah,
little easier. But I am definitely grandma mom. Like
yeah.
it's a different mindset.
Well, and now that you say about what you would tell people not to do, this is something that happened to me as Emma started getting older. People like when I was at a school event, sometimes people would say, "Oh, your granddaughter's so cute." They
Yeah,
would assume
yeah.
that she was my granddaughter. There was other moms there whose mothers were younger than me.
Yeah, that's another thing about Gigi and going to school and all the functions. Everyone seems so young to me. Like, oh my
Same.
goodness.
I know. I know. That's what I felt like. I had a lot of friends. You know how you make friends when your kids are in school with other moms?
Yeah,
A lot of my mom friends from school, all of my mom friends from school pretty much were younger than me. There was
yeah.
a few that were
And
my
some of them
age.
are like in their later 30s now, but I'm 48. So I'm still 10 years older than my closest
Right.
mom
Right.
friend age. So, but
Yeah.
like you said, it keeps me younger. I dye
Yeah.
my hair every 3 weeks to keep grays away.
Yeah, I did. I let mine finally grow out to gray when Emma was after she graduated from college.
When Gigi goes to college, I'll let my grays grow out, but
Yeah.
I'll keep my hair brown until then.
Yeah. Even in college, I was older than
Oh
all
yeah,
the moms, you
and
know.
I don't know a mom Gigi's age older than me. I've never met one. So
Yeah. Yeah, I
there's
had
some, like I said, late 30s or maybe possibly in their early 40s. I still don't know of any,
that
even
are
in
close
the
to
40s.
50.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, when Emma was 8, I turned 50, and I didn't even I mean, it didn't bother me, but I certainly didn't announce it.
yeah,
Like it's my 50th birthday.
yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't bother me either. And actually, I feel like um, wiser. I feel
Mhm.
like I, nothing. Anyway, I feel wise.
Yeah,
Wise.
60 bothered me because 60 was the year Emma went to college. And
Uh,
so I not only turned 60 we were empty nesters.
Yeah.
And so that really bothered me.
Well, and yeah, that
But
would be.
however, Emma went to college and moved back home for 2 years, so they don't really.
Well, when you're a mom, for like I said, I've been a mom for 31 years. The day that Gigi leaves my home will be really difficult for me. I've been someone's mom full time since I was 17 years old.
Right.
So that will be really difficult for me. And I haven't said this part yet, but my husband is 10 years older than me. He's 58 this week.
Oh
So,
my.
yeah. He'll be 68 when she graduates high school, and I'll be 58.
Well, yeah. So
So,
the idea that you, instead of being high up in the bleachers, you might be on the
I'll be
first few
pushing
rows.
Lord, take that away. I didn't mean that.
No, it keeps the dads young too. Like Keith was so involved in my girls' lives and their activities.
And Sean is an excellent dad. Like, so excellent. He takes her to the park every evening, and he spends so much time with her. And we're both involved, but he is such an excellent dad. She's such a fortunate girl.
Yeah. Well, and you're going to find too that Gigi is going to be like Emma's she's my close friend.
Yeah.
She moved to the city, but like this week I hadn't heard from her all week, and I get worried about her because she usually calls me at least every other day. I go downtown. I haven't gone downtown in a long time because I've been traveling.
Yeah.
But I was supposed to go down this past weekend. We had it planned for a long time. And I said, Emma, I can't come downtown because I've only been home one weekend with your dad.
Yeah.
And I need to stay home here and make him some meals like I would on the weekend. I just felt guilty, but I talked to her last night, and yeah, I'm like, when are we gonna have a girls' weekend? And I go down there, and we sleep in the same bed, and we watch movies together, and just snuggle on the couch, share a glass of wine. Yeah, it's fun. You're gonna enjoy Gigi even more when she's an adult because now you have to be mom.
Yes.
I still am mom, but I would say in the last year, I have had to learn kind of the hard way to pull back from being mom because she is a 26-year-old woman and she needs to be allowed to make her own mistakes so she can figure it out.
Yeah.
I've been way too hovering over her, which it's hard to do. Not be like that when you've had a baby at this age.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'll do it.
You will. And I didn't have grandchildren until 2 years ago. You have a grandbaby, so
yeah, 3. Yeah,
3. So, there'll be a transition where like Emma was the star of the show. Now Harrison's the star of the show.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
He definitely gets considerable attention. However, he's my daughter's baby, which makes a big difference too when we talk about the difference between boys and girls. Because Kenny and his wife are planning to have children, and I know I'm going to have to step back and play second fiddle to her mom. Not that it's a bad thing. I know my girls wanted their mom, and they, looked to me first. And in some ways, I feel bad for Tommy's mom because I don't think she gets as much time as I do. Well, we had a little technical difficulty and I lost Amy, But that kind of wraps up the end of this conversation, and I will be back with you next week as we talk about something else that we did for love. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Two Porches and a Pour. If you enjoyed today's show, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. It really helps other listeners find us. You can find show notes, links, and resources from today's episode at twoporchesandapour.com. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so reach out to us on social media. We're at Two Porches and a Pour on Instagram.